Hi, this is Mr. Wedge, and today we're going to talk about landscape drawing for art. And first of all, I just want to say I hope everybody's doing okay at home and that you get a chance to go outside in a real landscape and play if the weather's good. But we're going to talk about a kind of picture called a landscape, and a landscape is just a picture of the outdoors. So if you're looking out a window or you're looking at a picture of the outside, you're going to see the sky and the ground. But you're also going to see a lot of other things. But if you have the sky and the ground, that's a landscape. It's the most basic thing. And they actually touch each other. The sky and the ground touch each other. And where they touch, that's called the horizon. And you could make your horizon line straight across. It could be near the top of your paper. It could be near the bottom of your paper. It could be bumpy. It could be a zigzag. It could be a pattern. It's up to you. But you just want a line that goes from one end of your paper to the other. So I'm going to start on one end, and I'm just using a marker, but you could draw with a pencil or a pen or crayons or whatever you have at home. So there we go. I just drew a bumpy line that went from one side of my paper to the other. And I actually have three things now. I have the sky, and the ground, and the horizon. And so now that I have a landscape, I can start to put things in it. So hopefully you've thought about some things you could put in a landscape. I always like to put clouds in the sky and not leave it blank. So clouds can be all different shapes and everything, but usually they're kind of flat on the bottom and curved on the top, kind of like that. So there's a cloud, but if it's close to this horizon, it's going to be smaller because it's going to be farther away. When things get close to the horizon, they get farther away because that's the farthest thing away in your picture, where the sky and the ground touch. So down here, if a cloud is closer, it's just going to be a little smaller. It'll be the same kind of shape, but that's a cloud that's farther away. And if it's far away from the horizon, then it's going to be closer to us, so it's going to be a lot bigger. And you could draw a cloud that's really big. Maybe it goes all the way off the paper, like that, and you just see part of it. What else could we do? You could put the sun in your landscape. I'm not going to. You could put trees in there. Maybe there's a tree right here. I'm just going to draw an organic shape, just a blob, with two lines coming down for a tree and maybe a zigzag at the bottom for the roots. So there's a basic tree. But if a tree was really far away from the horizon, like down here, it'd be really big. It'd be a lot bigger. So here's a tree that's really close to us. Maybe that goes right off the paper too. And if it's far away, then it's going to be close to the horizon, so it's going to be a lot smaller. So that's just an art trick to make things look more realistic. And there's another art trick called overlapping. So right now I just have things floating in my landscape, but I could make some things look like they're in front of other things. So maybe there's a cloud down here, and I have to think about how close to the horizon it is, so I'm going to make it kind of medium size. But I just drew it so it looked like it was behind that other cloud. And that's called overlapping because it looks like this cloud is overlapping this cloud. And you could do the same thing with your trees. Maybe there's a smaller tree behind this one, but I'm just going to draw it, and when I hit the tree, I stop, and then I pretend like it keeps going, and then I come out the other side. And it looks like this one is in front of this one. And this tree needs a trunk too. So there's overlapping. And I could do that a lot. I could do it over and over and over, and it would look like a whole row of trees. And if they're going away from me, right, then they're getting closer to the horizon, so they'd be getting a little bit smaller each time. So those are just some art tricks you can use to make your picture look more realistic. Maybe there's a road that comes through here, like that, and the trees are like going alongside the road. But I need two lines for the road. And if it's near the horizon, it's going to be very small. And as it goes away from the horizon, it's going to get bigger. See that? So there's just a real simple, basic landscape. It looks like I have a lot of things on the right side and the left side's really empty. So one of the things I could do is I could overlap. I could do like another horizon kind of going behind it like that, and it looks like this mountain's really far away compared to that mountain. You could add bushes, you could add rocks, and to help you, you could look at a picture of a landscape. You could look at a photo that you have. You could look in a magazine. You could look on the internet, or you could just look out your window. You might have a really nice looking landscape that you could get ideas from. So work hard, have fun, and stay healthy.